All right, traders, we have a very important trading day coming up for tomorrow. We have another report that's going to be announced, the PPI inflation report. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the key levels where the bull and bear traps are going to be created so you can capitalize off of these trading opportunities by scalping and day trading options like a sniper. I'm also going to give you a very important update for my macro bearish thesis. As you know, if you've been following this channel, earlier in March, I told you guys the best level to buy puts in short the SPY was at 407 for a macro swing trade. That was the exact peak at the gap, and it's been having a reversal since. Now we've been trying to capitalize on the SPY at lower levels by buying put options at spikes. But there's going to be a very important update because this can potentially flip bullish if our key level breaks out and reacts as a support level. And you do not want to be holding puts if the macro flips from bearish to bullish. And we're also going to be covering what needs to happen to remain bearish. So make sure you stay till the end of this video so you know how to determine the micro and macro bull and bear traps. And you're going to be able to capitalize off of these levels if you trade like a sniper. So in terms of the trading plan was to buy puts within the range of 390 to 392. This was the update that I sent out within Trader Society. In terms of Trader Society as a whole, we did very, very well today. We had 62 people green and 6 people red. In terms of the trading plan was very spot on. This is what I said at market open. SPY is forming a W bullish pattern. I'm going to sit on the sidelines. I don't want to buy calls this high. And I said 392.80 was yesterday's highs in the extended hours trading. That's going to be the key level to watch for puts, obviously, which was the exact peak today. We had people take advantage of that, and they did very, very well buying puts at the exact top. Now, in terms of my update that I need to bring awareness to, right? So in terms of this pattern, we pointed out, if you watch the 2 previous videos, especially the one that I posted, not the last one, but the one before that, we pointed out the macro bearish trend that can form at support. But I said news can alter a lot of these things. So with that being said, this is what you need to understand in terms of the weekly chart pattern in terms of the macro. We have this red bearish candlestick. You can see it gaps down. We have this red bearish candlestick, this green bullish candlestick, and then it breaks out a little bit higher, then it goes much lower, right? And we have the same pattern that formed. You have this gap down right here, this red bearish candlestick, this green bullish candlestick goes a little bit higher, then it breaks lower. And then on that week right here, which is the week we are right now in terms of comparison on this pattern, it topped out towards that previous week's lows right here towards this $389 level, right? So in terms of your previous week's lows, in this case, it is right here at $392.33, right? You can also say right here towards $393.64. So I'm going to be very blunt about this. SPY keeps trying to break above that level, but it keeps topping out and it keeps selling off, which is good, but it's also trying to put in higher lows and higher support. And we're having a lot of these news events alter some things with this pattern. History tends to repeat itself. Patterns work. Patterns repeat themselves. But it gets to a point in time where they stop working and they no longer repeat itself, and you must adapt. So what I'm going to be very vocal and clear about is this right here. This is your previous support right here towards this 393 level, we're going to call it. And as you can see, it turned into resistance for the past 3 days, and it had a big sell-off to 380, right? So the macro is still bearish. But the point I want to bring awareness to, this whole macro bearish thesis, where I think we can have a massive sell-off end of month, is going to go out the window, and I'm not going to be as bearish and interested in terms of macro puts if they break this above this 394. If they break above 394, if they're turning 393 into support and it's reacting bullish and forming a floor and not topping out, not forming a triple top, not selling off, not forming resistance, then I will be overall on the sidelines in terms of the macro, and I will have no interest in swinging puts. There also hasn't been bearish candlesticks on the daily chart to swing puts, but in terms of our levels, if you were to day trade them, it's been absolutely phenomenal. It keeps topping out at that 392 to 393 for literally 3 days in a row. You can short shares and trade extended hours right here. So it happened 3 times in a row at our key level, where it was the exact top towards this 392 zone. It worked today. We had members do very, very well on that. But what I'm bringing awareness to is, If it breaks above this ceiling at like 393.50 and then, we go to 394, it turns into a support level, the macro is going to flip from bearish to bullish, and then there will be absolutely no reason to do macro puts. And then in terms of if it breaks above that, the next level it's going to go to is this previous support level that has not been tested, which is going to be towards $398. That'll be the next level it goes to. So that's what I want to bring awareness in terms of the SPY. Now, in order to remain macro bearish, we need to start topping out quickly and breaking down. This is the third time where we tested this like 393 level within the past 3 days. It is trying to form higher support. So we need to start breaking down. We need to start topping out towards 393. We need to start breaking down. Now let's go over the micro levels, right? So we address the macro. The macro is going to remain bearish as long as 394 is a ceiling. But they need to, quickly start cracking support, and they need to quickly go under this 388 level, this like 387.50 level. Now, in terms of the micro, I need you focused on the channels. So this is very, very simple, right? You have your best support at $380.49. You have a dark pull level at 386. This is going to be our dark pull level right here around 386. And then you have the exact top of the channel, which is what we're going to say $393 for the exact top. So as you could see in terms of what happened today, very similar in terms of what happened, yesterday. We had this nice morning spike. It topped out towards one of our key levels. It spiked into the close. Except this time it hasn't really sold off from that previous support like it did last time. It sold off from that previous support. That's the main difference. So in terms of what you need to be aware of heading into tomorrow, these are going to be your main key levels. 391.73 is towards the exact peak in the top of the channel. This is going to be a gap fill level. So if this reacts as a resistance level, if this reacts bearish, then the SPY is going to start to drop and sell back off to 387.50. That'd be the profit target zone if 391.73 reacts as a resistance level. Now, if you see this breaking out, it's holding up, it's forming a floor at 391.73. That is very, very bullish. And then they will try to break it above 394. And if it breaks above 394 and forms a floor there, then it goes to 397, right? So the main thing that I really want you to focus on is this 391.73 gap, 393 resistance, and then keep an eye on this level right here. We have a ton of support at $387, right around this like 387.50, we'll call it. We have a lot of support at 387.50. If that keeps holding up, then the bulls are going to try to go for that breakout. And in terms of what's make or break, and another thing that's really down to the wire is SPY had support towards this 391.73 gap. There was support right here. It cracked and it sold off all the way down to 387s. Very, very nice crash. Then it retested. And right now, ever since it retested, it's just having a small little drop. So this is make or break. We got to see if they can turn that previous support into resistance. That's what they're going to try to do. Problem is, news is going to alter some things. So tomorrow is also going to be one of those days in terms of what's very important is the pre-market. We have to see how it reacts in the pre-market. I was studying the pre-market, and this is why I held off on puts in terms of very early at market open. I held off on puts because the pre-market told me this is forming a bullish W pattern. I'm going to sit on the sidelines, and if it's looking bullish, the best thing you can do if you're going to bet against the trend and buy puts is to go with the best level. And the best level in terms of the trend set to buy puts right here towards 393, and that's why that idea would have worked so well. So with that being said, that's what I want you to bring awareness to in terms of where the bear traps are going to be created. They're going to try to be created at support towards this 388 to 387.50. In terms of where the bull traps are going to be created, they're going to try to be created at 393. Just remember, if it breaks out and forms support, then that macro kick is going to kick in, and it's going to catch a lot of people off guard, and it's going to screw puts. Puts are doing extremely well at 393, but if we break above 393 and turn that into a floor, then that macro is going to tell the micro to start going super bullish. But if it's a fake out, then it's just going to get absolutely crushed. So we got to see how it reacts. A lot of people are telling me that they're bullish for the overall PPI, but they think once it comes out, it's going to overall sell off, right? And if you've been looking what the SPY has been doing as of recently, It's been having very nice pullbacks right here around this time right here towards 12 p.m. beginning towards 11:30 a.m. right here towards 11:30 a.m. right here towards 11 a.m. So one thing that I want to bring awareness to, especially if we are gapping up or if we are spiking or if we are at key resistance, the SPY for the past 3 days now, let's see, is it even 4? Yeah, it's like almost 4 in a sense. It's been having big sell-offs around 11 a.m. to 11:30 to 12 p.m. in that zone has been the high of day, the top zone. So keep that in mind heading into tomorrow for that history to repeat itself if you see that at key resistance. And just remember, in terms of macro flips, if they break above this previous support towards 393 and they're turning 394 into support zone, it's breaking out. Then it goes super bullish and they're going to send it to 397. So be careful, but don't be afraid of trading the best setups at the best prices. It is a lot more logical to be buying puts at 393 until it stops working and you get stopped out at the exact peak with big upside potential for puts because that's the exact top, rather than trying to predict that it's bullish at 393 and keep getting faked out for big side potential, faked out for big downside potential, faked out for big downside potential. It's not as simple as that though. You need to trade the price action. You need to trade the chart. You need to use confirmations. You need to use candlesticks. You need to determine, okay, is this looking bullish? Is it forming a bullish or bearish pattern? How does the 30-minute chart look like? What time frame is it at? Okay, it's towards the key level, towards a key sell-off time of 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. within the past 3 to 4 days, right? That pattern's been working. There's things you need to factor in, the price action, how the candlesticks looks, right? Another reason why I swayed away from puts very early in the morning was simply just stating that, you know, it just keeps forming green bullish 30-minute candlesticks. Every single candlestick was green and bullish. That's not a confirmation of puts. But notice how once it starts forming the red bearish candlesticks, that's the exact peak. So use 30-minute candles. They're going to help you a lot as well. And it is your responsibility to determine if it's forming a floor or a roof at these key make it or break it levels. Never underestimate them. Cut your losses quick. With that being said, that is how you trade the best setups at the best prices for tomorrow. Our key levels are going to be 391.73 at the gap, 393.50 at the exact top. So 393.50 at the exact top, 391.73 the gap. The rest are just basic overall levels, right? But this 391.73 is a special level. So understand it's a gap level and it cracks support. It just retested. It's having a small pullback. So it's very, very key to watch this for tomorrow to see if it's going to have some sort of gap close reversal, right? For the bulls to really remain in control, they got to push above this previous support that cracked at 392 and then break out. That's what they got to do. If 392 reacts as a roof, then we drop right back to 388. That's my thoughts. That's my analysis. Play it safe. Trade the best setups, the best prices. Focus on 393.50 and 391.73. If it ever rugs to 380, then there's your best price to dip by calls. As you can see, there's a lot of support in one of the key levels is going to be 384. This 384 is a very, very key level. But the fact that they didn't crack this 384, that is not good for the Bears, man. The Bears needed to crack that. It's just this news is altering so much stuff. So we got to see how it reacts tomorrow in the pre-market. And if you're going to do puts, use very strong bearish 30-minute candlesticks. In my opinion, play it safe. Watch the key time from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the key resistance top of the channel. If you guys do want to be a part of Traders Society, this is now collectively as a whole. This is, again, another six-figure day in terms of Trader Society. You can see the polls are in, man. 62 people green, 6 red, 75 green, 8 red, 67 green, 6 red. If you want to be a part of this group and get access to Trader Society, it is going to be the first link down below in the description. It is a one-time fee. You get lifetime access to it. Live trading on Discord, live trading voice, live trading stream, the educational library. There's so much to this program if you want to be surrounded with the right network, with the right community, with the right opportunities and having the right eyeballs within the market. This would be the best place for you, man. I'm telling you, in terms of the profit section, we have people doing very, very well. Just made 6K on one trade. Like, people are doing very, very well. This is Z-Man. Bobby is absolutely crushing it. His portfolio's up 98% this week because he kept hitting puts at 392. He just kept on doing it. 389, 392, he kept hitting puts with some size. Portfolio's up 100% in one single week. He's been crushing it. So if you want to be a part of Trader Society, it is the first link down below in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open.